What happens if Tanjiro encounters Muzan in episode 1? What if the person Tanjiro stumbles upon in the first episode isn't Giyu, but Muzan? Would Muzan end Tanjiro's life without a second thought, or would he transform him into a demon? I've formulated 3 possible scenarios. In the first scenario, Muzan attempts to execute Tanjiro. Muzan, seeing Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings, might feel immediately threatened. We know that Muzan has been hunting down individuals with these earrings since he nearly met his end at the hands of Yoruichi centuries ago, thus implying he might kill Tanjiro and Nezuko within the first 10 minutes of episode 1. But Muzan would inadvertently commit a huge blunder, as he has been striving to withstand the sunlight for 1,000 years, and the Kamado siblings could have been his solutions. He would have to wait for another sun breather to be born, which could take another 1,000 years. Meanwhile, eliminating Tanjiro could inadvertently benefit Muzan, as without Tanjiro, demon slayers like Inosuke and Zenitsu would meet their demise at the hands of Kyogai, and Hashira like Tengen would perish against the upper moons. Muzan, by strategically choosing his battles, could eradicate numerous high-ranking demon slayers, thereby expanding his demon army. Muzan's situation would improve further as he could dispatch his demons across Japan in search of the blue spider lily, the other object that could grant him resistance against the sun. This scenario represents just one of 3 possible story trajectories. In the second scenario, Muzan makes a shocking decision. Instead of executing the Kamados, Muzan perceives the potential usefulness of a sun-breathing demon, leading him to transform Tanjiro into a demon and abduct Nezuko. Although Tanjiro detests the situation, he would do anything to protect his sister. Muzan's first command is abhorrent, forcing Tanjiro to slaughter and consume everyone in his village, or else Nezuko will perish. While a devastated Tanjiro obeys Muzan, his strength multiplies, revealing his true potential to Muzan. Over the next several years, Muzan continues to feed him blood. Tanjiro's power growth shows no signs of stopping, and he soon becomes the highest-ranking demon moon, only inferior to Kakushibo. Around this time, Muzan commences Phase 2 of his nefarious plan, ordering Tanjiro to start assassinating the Hashira. Tanjiro pretends to comply, but secretly devises a brilliant strategy to defeat Muzan. Rather than defeating the Hashira, Tanjiro spares them and instructs them to take refuge at the Demon Slayer headquarters. After doing this with enough Hashira, Tanjiro plans to bait Muzan into attacking the Demon Slayer headquarters and then ambush the Demon King with Hashira's assistance. In the following month, Tanjiro pretends to kill Giyu and Shinobu on Mount Naragumo, Rengoku on the Mugen Train, and Tengen in the Entertainment District. This is particularly challenging as Tanjiro must ensure no demons become suspicious. However, assuming everything goes smoothly, Tanjiro's ambush on Muzan is finally prepared after he pretends to kill Muichiro and Mitsuri at the Swordsmith Village. At this point, Muzan is elated, thinking that 6 of the 9 Hashira have been eradicated. Thus, when Tanjiro proposes to destroy the entire headquarters of the now weakened Demon Slayer, Muzan agrees. On the night of the assault, Tanjiro remains behind with a few demon moons. While Muzan advances with Kakushibo, solitary, Tanjiro dispatches every single demon moon, subsequently fleeing with Nezuko. After securing her in a sheltered location, he hastens to the headquarters to assist the Hashira in overcoming Muzan. But to his dismay, half of the Hashira have already perished. Inflicting substantial harm against Kakushibo and Muzan together is simply unachievable for them. Recall in the original narrative's battle against Muzan, the Hashira only stood a chance because Muzan had been heavily weakened by venom. Tanjiro plunges into the fray to support the Demon Slayers, but even with his demonic strength, he proves no match for Muzan and Kakushibo. Gradually, yet unerringly, the Hashira are exterminated, until it's solely Tanjiro opposing Muzan. Some might theorize that Tanjiro's Hinokami Kagura could unlock here, but against Muzan it would prove futile because, in the actual story, Tanjiro needed years of training before it evolved lethal. To summarize, Muzan torments Tanjiro before terminating him for his treachery. As Tanjiro slowly dissolves into nothingness, he's consoled knowing Nezuko is secure and still among the living. This certainly is a melancholy theory, but there's another hypothesis I possess, and it's far gloomier. As with the previous series, this one initiates with Tanjiro encountering Muzan. However, this time, Muzan embarks on a path of torment against Tanjiro. Muzan has grown wary of fearing the Hanafuda earrings, now craving vengeance. He converts Tanjiro into a demon to ascertain his survival. In the hours that follow, Muzan inflicts pain on young Tanjiro in every conceivable way. But to exacerbate matters, Muzan extinguishes Nezuko too, pushing Tanjiro to his breaking point. Tanjiro lies there, his sobs resonating from the physical and emotional torment. Observing this, Muzan departs, leaving a nearly lifeless Tanjiro behind. Satisfied with his revenge on the Hanafuda earrings, However, allowing Tanjiro to live would transpire as Muzan's most colossal error. After days of laying on the ground, Tanjiro eventually recovers from his injuries. His sole objective now is to eliminate Muzan, but Tanjiro's strength is insufficient, so he begins training by exterminating Muzan's demon subordinates instead. This is where Tanjiro uncovers his unique power. In the initial narrative, Tanjiro's sister was special. She could rejuvenate her powers through sleep, unlike other demons who required human consumption. Tanjiro mirrored this trait. Instead of needing humans, he could amplify his strength by consuming demons. Upon this discovery, Tanjiro assumes the role of a demon assassin, murdering demons and consuming them to acquire their power. After slaying several demons, he also realizes that if he bites a demon during combat, he can appropriate their abilities and debilitate them. Over the ensuing years, Tanjiro consumes so many demons that his strength rivals an upper moon. He even allies himself with the Demon Slayer Corps, though he doesn't join them. His ambitions are far more ruthless. Around this time, Muzan learns of Tanjiro and his abilities, yet every demon Muzan dispatches to eliminate Tanjiro meets its end and is devoured. On the Mugen train, Demon Tanjiro aids Rengoku against Enmu. Recognizing that Rengoku is entrapped in a nightmare by the demon blood art, Tanjiro seeks out Enmu and bites him, nullifying Enmu's somniferous abilities. Once Rengoku awakens, he teams up with Tanjiro and together they overpower the lower moon. Suddenly the train derails, Akaza emerging with the intent to obliterate Demon Tanjiro once and for all. However, this battle differs from the original narrative. With Tanjiro's demon powers, Akaza is disadvantaged. First, Rengoku assails with his flame breathing. While Akaza is distracted, Tanjiro creeps up and takes a significant bite out of him. Remember, Tanjiro can steal other demons' powers. This turns the tide of battle. Akaza is now critically weakened and can no longer regenerate, while Tanjiro can now wield Akaza's formidable attacks. As a result, after a few strikes from Rengoku and Tanjiro, they manage to decapitate Akaza, thus killing him. That's 1 upper moon down, 5 more to vanquish. If we accelerate to the entertainment district, Demon Tanjiro is present there as well, lending a hand to Tengen against Gyutaro and Daki. As he's a demon, the battle is much simpler than in the original tale. Tanjiro surpasses Daki in strength, enabling him to instantly sever her head and subsequently launch it as far as possible, removing her from the fight in the initial moments. Then, alongside Inosuke and Zenitsu, Tanjiro allies with Tengen against Gyutaro. Now Gyutaro is formidable, but between Tengen's musical score ability, Tanjiro's perilous combat skills, and Zenitsu's lightning-fast speed, the group manages to debilitate him to the point where they can decapitate him. Tanjiro executes an act after each battle that further amplifies his strength. He ensures to consume the Demon Moon's bodies before they vanish, granting him such a power surge that he now matches the strength of the Upper Moon 1, Kakushibo. At the Swordsmith Village, Tanjiro confronts Hantengu and Gyoko, defeating them effortlessly with the aid of Muichiro and Mitsuri. When Muzan receives this news, he is incensed. His most formidable soldiers are being demolished by a demon boy with the Hanafuda earrings. He dispatches the last Upper Moon, Kakushibo, to exterminate Tanjiro, and it's a tight battle. It seems Tanjiro will fall, but when he recollects the murder of his family, Tanjiro's rage fuels him, and he succeeds in slaying Kakushibo. Now only Muzan remains for Tanjiro's vengeance to be fulfilled. First, Tanjiro abducts and tortures random demons until one finally discloses Muzan's secret base's location. Therefore, Tanjiro gathers every Hashira and Demon Slayer, and together, they devise a plan to ambush the Demon King the next time he exits his base. Night descends a few days later, and Muzan departs the base. Everyone lunges, leading to a battle to the death. There's no concrete strategy for attacking Muzan. Tanjiro and his allies are cognizant that the Demon King surpasses each of them individually in strength. Even though Tanjiro has managed to vanquish all the Upper Moons, he's still considerably weaker than Muzan, the original demon. Thus, the best strategy Tanjiro and the allies conceive is to keep Muzan outdoors while the sun rises to incinerate him. It's a lethal gamble, and many Demon Slayers perish, but after a prolonged, grueling night, the sun rises and Muzan begins to burn. He sprints for cover, but Tanjiro tackles him, managing to pin him down for a few more seconds. The remaining Hashira also hurries over and engages in a battle to keep him down. After a few minutes, the Demon King is incinerated and eradicated for good. But now, Tanjiro lacks a goal. He's killed Muzan, but his entire family is deceased. So he spends the remainder of his life wandering the earth, even journeying to other countries in search of something to give his life purpose. Eventually, he falls in love and starts a family, naming his first daughter. These were some wild theories, but don't stop here.
If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe.